It's tabletop time.
I'm Jazza.
I'm Jen.
I'm Murray.
I'm Elle.
I'm Dave, and this is episode 2 of LUCEVERA, our fantasy roleplay adventure that we've just embarked on last week. It was a whole bunch of fun, and LUCEVERA is powered by secret and amazing GM tools, but I'm going to reveal them for you today. Legend Keeper. So this is Legend Keeper. You could look at Legend Keeper. Legend Keeper is a GM or campaign management tool that you can use to organize your campaigns.
I just love every 2 weeks when we come back to promote Ledger Keeper, there's so much more that you put together. I'm like, this is a whole thing.
Yeah, so these are the regions around LUCEVERA in the region of Fluvialta, and you can see that they're all nested in here. So it's really easy and organic to create things, to nest maps, to nest regions. I can click on the region we're going to now, the Barony of Piare, and you have little notes including some secrets in there. But I haven't got a huge amount on the Barony because most of my work has been in this map of townships over here where we can see all the little towns. But we could also go straight over to Allegrano, and everything's all linked. It's super easy. You can use tools, backslashes, whatever you need. Characters are linked.
Bro, have you done this a week?
You just breezing through.
Yeah,
I know. Oh, and then there's this whole freaking world,
Look,
and then there's look at all, and there's literally every little boat port and
there's secrets down there.
There's chimneys. I've done 17 towns and 4,000 chimneys, but let's just brush.
Well, you know
that.
why? Because it's so easy to do using Legend Keeper. Truly, it is the app I have settled on. I've been GMing for so many years, and I've tried different programs. This one is so clean and simple, and that's why I really like it.
The interconnectedness, the ease at which it does that is awesome.
Oh, look.
There are so many where it feels like you're building a whole website and you have to hyperlink everything and blah, blah, blah. Whereas it's just so organic, you literally you can type the thing and it connects it to the articles you've made.
Type / and I can change my font. If I want to type @ and connect something like Arvin, I can just immediately, there's a list of things we can come up with. But if I type something like Arvin Big Bro, it'll just immediately create it. If I just press enter, that will create a page. It doesn't force me into that. I can click on that at my leisure. So I can be just creating pages and linking them. It's just while you're typing, it's so easy, so intuitive, so good. And you can get your first month free with a subscription, which you can add to your 14-day free trial to get a total of 44 free days if you use the link in our description. It's the first link they've ever done.
This is the deal that they've never provided except for through us.
We're there first.
We're very excited.
Yeah, it's a small company.
Yeah.
It's a small company. They're only relatively new on the block.
Awesome producers of a fantastic Game Masters tool. So go check that out. Bring your games to life with Legend Keeper, as we will be with LUCEVERA. Thank you, Legend Keeper, for sponsoring this video.
So tonight we're going to start our session while everyone is just quickly following that link and subscribing to Legend Keeper. We are going to start our session.
Let's do it.
Okay, so last week, can we get a little recap from some people? Just brief, keep it tight.
We met everyone.
Kind of. We met a lot of NPCs in the All Trades Assembly, didn't we?
Yeah,
Yes.
we all sort of came together, met, if we hadn't already, in the world, and have now been thrown together into a little of a conundrum in which some of the members have got their own little quest with just a slight law enforcement issue walking around the premises.
Which is where we'll pick up with this law enforcement issue walking around the premises.
Wow.
So, who was escorting you?
It was Lorenzo.
Okay.
And I believe I had just slapped his book shut.
And
I got totally rejected.
Yeah. Continuing the tour.
as Bianca and Lorenzo explore the various rooms and workshops, eventually, almost conspicuously left till last, they arrive at some rickety stairs that lead up to the loft. Now, is Arvin in the loft? Or?
Yes.
Okay, cool. Please proceed.
All right. Is this safe to step on? Look at the stairs.
I actually should check because the structure of the building is,
Okay, you can make an engineering roll if you want to
–
discern the structural integrity of these steps. Challenge level 2.
Okay, cool. We should check do our dice cams.
Does it work? One of them does.
This one does. You guys need to turn
That's
yours
2
on.
successes.
Yay. So
And it gives you jaundice as well, which is really exciting.
awesome.
Oh, that's good. Look at that.
There we go.
So good.
That's much better. You just white balance. Yeah, that's the jaundice mode. And then that's black and white. Oh, moody black and white.
Sepia.
Sepia could be good.
It's a disco here tonight.
I like the sepia.
I don't mind sepia for Lucevera.
I
but,
think that's right.
Okay.
That's true.
Yeah, but
Sepia LUCEVERA.
But then we'd have to do it every time.
All right.
true.
Yeah, so I lead her around all the creakiest planks.
Okay.
And eventually the final rooms, which are
well, despite its appearance, they're actually kind of sound. They do creak, but they're structurally sound.
Yeah.
With your 2
I
successes.
lead
Okay.
her down
Engineers in
the
this building, okay?
safest route to her quarters and finally Arvin's room, just so she can see. It's the attic, so, Look,
Are my quarters in the attic?
are they?
No.
No. You're after. Yeah.
Are you going to be after this? We'll take you to your room. Let's do it after this. The last stop will be your room.
Yeah.
All right. I know there are. It is part of your duty to examine everything.
Yes.
So of course I will show you the last room. And it's probably clear I'm slightly delaying here.
Thank you.
I will show you. I'm speaking up just so that anyone inside. I will open the door now to show you the last room in the building, and of which many productive things happen, which can sometimes be messy, but generally very innovative.
And is
I'm
it
going to open the
safe?
door now.
Okay. I'll poke my head inside.
Describe the scene in front. I mean, you've had some time. Arvin, what were you trying to do while you're up here in your few minutes?
Effectively, all of the parchment has been cleared away from any of the working areas in which flames are involved. Basically, everything has been reasonably safely put away. It's still a mess, but everything has been more cleared away. Like, Arvin is chaotic, but he knows hazards.
Okay.
So basically, everything has been piled onto this low desk in the corner.
Does it smell in the room?
What does it
No,
smell
the
like?
doors, like, there's odors
Like a
of
musty
things,
attic smell.
but there's also, like, a lot of herbs and other things.
Okay.
Yes,
Okay,
there'd be a much stronger sort of assault in the senses of various, different
Yeah, but
chemicals.
also the windows
and-
are open.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yes,
this is
yes. And Arvin
Wow.
is hunched over, hurriedly writing something on paper.
Working hard as always, as we do in
right.
this
Is this
building.
alchemy at work?
Yes. I was cleaning, and then I had an idea, and I had to write it down.
Cleaning. Is this clean?
Yeah.
Is there a bed under there?
So turn to all the piles on the lower desk. I think that is it.
Right. What are you writing? What are you working on?
I had an idea for some of the reactants I've been working with. I recently managed to reconstitute silver, and I've had a brainwave.
What would you do to silver? Isn't it perfectly fine as it is?
Silver can do so much.
Okay. Not my area. I just know silver in weapons.
Yes. And it complements many things. Beautifully, yes?
Sure. Yes.
Exactly. Goes back to writing.
Okay. Well, I'll do like a tiny walk around of what floor space there is.
Weaving through piles of
Yeah.
various
I'll
implements. And
look out the window, see if there's anything.
you can see from Arvin's window, you look down into the large river that runs through the center of Allegrano, and you can see the now sort of Murray River brown water as it flows downstream.
I had nothing to do with it.
There's a couple of gondolas being paddled across the river towards the other. There's canals on either side of the river, and there's also to your right you can see quite a large. You're cautious to call it a bridge because it is a bridge in technicality, but it's built on. There's like multiple buildings on it, and it's 3 times wider than a bridge in our day and age. It's like this massive promenade with almost more just arched canalways for the river to go through underneath. And then, down to your left, you can just see, and straight across, there is a large dockyard, which you would know to be one of the shipyards. In fact, the major shipyard in Allegrano, which is on the river but close to the coast. It's not really a port town. but they do have a little shipyard that can send boats small enough to go down the river.
And is the dirtiness of the river, is that consistent through the whole town, or is
No.
it this area specifically?
No, it starts here being dirty. If you crane your neck to the right and look up to the High Ward where the nobles live, you'll see that it is quite beautiful.
So where I'm
and
from, I'm
pristine.
used to a bit of it.
The river where you are from
Yeah.
is like blue and clear and beautiful.
Yeah, okay. Well, she'll turn her nose up
Mountain
a bit.
streams and rain. Yeah.
Right, okay. Well, I'll leave you to your scribbling for now, and
Let me
write
show you
things
to your
down.
room.
Thank you. Good day.
You lead Bianca downstairs.
Carefully downstairs.
Back down into the main hall, over to the kitchen, and then open a side door to the kitchen. There's a short corridor and then a row of doors, which seem to be little boarding rooms, where you find the most recently used one and open the door to a creak and reveal it's a room no larger than the area we're currently role-playing in, so approximately
3 by 3.
It is 3 by 3 meters,
and a
so
half by
9 by
3.5.
9 foot for our American audience, with a sort of a cot in the corner with an old mattress that's a little bit, it's just like
Springy.
a straw mattress. No, it's a bag of straw.
okay.
So it's like a bag of straw, a bale of straw. It's got a very like agricultural, musty smell in the room.
What was one of your disabling feats?
I need a proper bed to have a good lunch.
And now a straw mattress is a fine
like that
mattress
would
in this
count as
era.
a bed.
Okay.
Their box spring mattresses don't exist, everyone.
Not on the floor.
If you're really rich,
Okay.
you'll get
Down,
like
right, or
down
something like that.
and
Yeah.
wool. But you're talking
Okay.
some hay in a big Hessian canvas sack
Only the finest.
with some fairly rough like linen on top of it.
Right, well, I won't let my horse in here. It'll eat all the hay. I'll take my bag off you and pop it down.
Let me know if there's anything we can do to make your stay more comfortable.
Yes, no, thank you.
I don't mean not to impose, but would you mind sharing what it is you look for and what you're hoping to see?
Well, we have to make sure that the guild is, well, first of all, following, safety precautions. We can't be endangering the citizens of LUCEVERA. But also, we want to make sure you're contributing and not just using land and resources for nothing.
Of course. Goodbye. I walk away and
I'll
just
be
like
out in a moment.
pit in my stomach. I've only been here for like 2 months, and I'm like, I haven't seen either of those things.
Upstairs, knock, knock, knock at Arvin's door.
Yes, come in.
Arvin, darling, biscotti? And there's a tray with like, 3 left.
Biscotti.
That's the
happy,
remaining
busy.
tray.
Right,
But
she just does the tour.
you also know that Amelie is not sort of like, she can have the traits, but she's not a trope. She is definitely deliberately sort of like softening the mood. She knows that people likes her sweets. She's using it deliberately. It's not just like every day she's like trying to ply food on you constantly. Today of days, she is being particularly attendant to everyone's sort of mood and coming in and checking on them.
I take the item as the gift it is, and how is the guild master?
Not so good. Her temper is fiery to say the least, and
Yes, I was sure that she was about to explode.
well, I calmed her for now. But I had a thought. You see,
yes.
my Dolorosa, she is fuming and she worries ever much for this cavalier. She might ruin everything she's built, something like that. But we won't let that happen, no, will we?
No, it should be fine. They're here to see progress, us achieve something. We just need that shipment. With the shipment, we have all the supplies, all the all the people here, including myself, can actually work and do something.
Well, you see, I got to thinking and I thought, well, it might do the mistress good if that, young woman was not here for a while. So, then I thought, you're missing shipment, yes?
Oh, miss, I was about to say, I think murder is a bit out of my repertoire.
Murder! Oh!
You did not just come up here to offer me biscotti and suggest that she disappear.
You shocked me, Arvin. You know I would never. Oh, the thought of it. And she fans her face a little bit
I know you wouldn't, but honestly, if someone was listening, that would have sounded a little bit sus.
No, I
Murdered
meant
PC episode 2.
you're going on a journey and there might be a crime involved, perhaps. And she is some kind of law of this land, so...
That's true, that could speed things along. That might actually be beneficial.
And what better way for her to see how the guild operates than to see, well, frankly, half the guild go on a journey to retrieve their supplies.
True.
It will give us time to neaten up as well. And perhaps I can get some of Leonardi's more risque inventions under covers.
Of course, yes. That's probably the biggest worry of all, to be honest.
Yes, the fire that doesn't stop burning was not the best idea.
Yes, finding out where to put that was quite the hassle. Yes, okay. Yes, I will proffer that. Yes, I was just going to sort of avoid her at all costs. But yes, okay. I will do that. And I will allow you the space to maintain the building and the inhabitants. Lovely Miss Doloroso.
Yes, that's a good boy, Arvin. She squeezes your cheek a little bit, and then she's like,
Ow.
have a good rest and rest of your day. You set out tomorrow, yes?
Yes. Do we?
And then she looks back at you, smiles, and leaves the tray on your desk and walks out with the last
Goodness.
couple of biscuits on it. And she leaves.
Tomorrow it is.
Score.
Right. Time to find the rest of my companions, I suppose.
Cool. Wow.
Can I have put my things down and then go on to find Elio if I can?
Yes, you can. Elio is currently sort of standing. You head up to the main area, and Elio is standing on top of a large workbench. It's bigger than a large dining table. It's like a big wooden table for doing large works on. Leonardi is there with some tools, and Elio is standing on the table, stretching out this wooden beam that has canvas stretched between two different sections. He's kind of using his small stature to get around the place.
So
Libero Leonardi. I called him Leonardi. He's Libero Leonardi.
I did hear Leonardi.
Yeah, it's his surname. There's both of them. Technically, they're both Leonardis.
Fine.
I thought you were just saying Leone, but fancy. So Bianca's come back out without her stuff, but she's still wearing her full uniform, her sword at her hilt and her hat with her feather. And she'll come over to Elio and say, "So I heard you're the one to go to who knows everything here."
There's a bead of sweat going down his head as he's yanking this bit of wood back. Clearly been working really hard in the last 10, 15 minutes. And he's like, "Oh, yes, I know pretty much everything." And then there's a clunk as a piece clicks into place. "Good one, Elio. You can go now. Go talk to the Cavalier if you want." And he jumps down. "Yes, what do you want to know?"
So, and she has her notebook and her quill out, or her paper and her quill. Who was jumping off the roof earlier?
"Oh, Celeste. She is so brave. She's my hero, basically.
Mm-hmm. And why is she doing this?
She wants to fly. We're making wings for her."
And how close are you to flying?
"Well," he looks up to the roof, "about 3 floors."
Okay, and how many times has she done this?
Jumped off the roof?
Yes, to test.
Oh, I don't know. She's a lot older than me. I've only done it once or twice, but she's done it so many times.
And do the adults in this area know that you jumped off the roof?
I didn't jump off this roof. It's way too high. But they know Celeste does. Yes, she volunteers. Volunteer means does anything anyway because they want to.
Yes, sure. Okay. And does Libero know that you did this?
Well, he was taking measurements, so I would assume so.
Okay, great, thank you. And I'm just going to keep on doing it until people mill around. I've got the key to the secret box.
Oh dear.
So you all,
bribe him.
about now, Leone's been cleaning up and inspecting your new toy as well, and you all find your way to stumbling into the common area with Bianca interrogating Ilio.
They probably overhear what he's saying.
You're all here. Okay, I have news. We're going to set off to get our shipment on the model.
Yes.
Bianca, as the official here,
Yes, that's
I would like to extend to you the offer to escort us, oversee us, as we go and retrieve these supplies. You can see how we handle ourselves and negotiate with others.
I'm definitely side-eyeing Leonie at the moment, just like...
Well, great. That's lovely
bad
for the
idea.
offer. I was going to go along anyway. It is guild business, but
Yay.
thank you. Glad to.
Oh my
Glad to be
gosh, are you
invited.
going on that little trip?
Yes.
Well then, can I come?
Hey, Leo, you're
No,
too young.
you said there might be pirates or a dragon. That's
And you
not
can
safe
protect-
for you.
It's not safe,
No.
but can't you protect me? I could think we would have very much fun.
Well, there'd be no roofs to jump off over there. You
And he
can
looks-
test your flying.
Yeah, he does look back at Libero, who gives a look of like feigned extra weariness, and he's like, "Oh, Grandpa does need my help." Okay, well, have fun. Bring me back something sweet.
Who told her he jumped off the roof?
Oh, he did.
I'd say it out of your
Yeah.
earshot.
Yes, you run along, Ilio. Have fun.
Have fun. I'm working my butt off here.
Yes, I can see you smiling from here.
Well, at least he's working. I've seen you do some scribbles. And
So we will
Yours.
depart in the morning.
Please,
Correct.
sorry, please bring me one apple from Pamelis.
One apple.
Oh, they're so
I'll see
sweet
what I
and
can do, Elio.
crunchy. And then he runs off.
How long is the journey? I'm afraid I do not. I am not very equipped to travel.
It should be a few days.
Do we have supplies?
Looks to the side to remember.
3 days.
Yeah, about 3 days.
Well, we should get packing then.
will there be taverns along the way? Inns we can stop at?
Do you want to make some kind of probably just a intelligence? I'm going to say intelligence wisdom. Do a rare double trait check for your brain, your big brain.
Is this me?
You,
or-
because you're asking the question, punk.
But why would I ask the question if they knew the answer?
I want to know if you know the answer.
'Cause you
That's
might
why
have
we're
been
rolling.
Recalling. You're recalling in that
Okay.
big
Yeah,
brain.
you're recalling information.
Intelligence wisdom.
Yeah,
What is it with these dice cans?
they just turned off.
That's
Maybe
a
the
one
power isn't
success.
running through it properly. One success.
Yes.
And she doesn't know.
You expected there would be,
Okay.
given that it's close to the city.
Why?
Well, I should double check. Well, because if we're going to be away for 3 days, we have to rest.
yeah.
That's traditionally what people do, yes.
Yes. So
Not
we
in the
need
inn.
taverns and inns.
No, just sleep on the floor.
Is
in the
that what
grass.
you normally do?
Yeah.
Well, we are very different.
We need to remember we are hosting a guard of the King's Cavalier. We should pack accordingly.
And may I ask, why is the cleaner coming along to pick up shipments?
Oh, and Libero sails over. Leone here is
Yes.
helping test something for me, and
Testing.
yes,
Yes, and what would that be?
contraption. Hopefully, you will see some live fire out. It's a new type of crossbow.
Weaponry.
Yes, we are the
Right.
All Trades Assembly.
I suppose
course,
weapons
remember-
will come into it at
Yes,
some point.
please do remember that the crossbow is what won us the war. So this is honorable business. And
Yes.
That is
on
true.
that, and he reaches into a pouch and he pulls out 12 silver pieces and hands them to Leone. And he says, I promised you would get your usual day pay.
Oh.
3 days there and back. I pay you in advance because there may be cost along the way, I guess.
Oh, that's,
But treat it as a holiday.
that's very sweet.
Just do those test fires for me. And he hands you a bunch of paper and like charcoals and is like, make some notes.
Yes.
At least you do. You will be holidaying.
While you're talking to Leona, I want to sort of turn to the side to Bianca and say, please, in future, refrain from insulting the people who are volunteering to help out here when you were barely invited. Thank you.
Sorry,
Do not talk down to my friend.
I
like
was
that.
not talking down. What has insulted
Really?
you?
Your half glance and asking why the hired help is helping.
Understood.
Nothing personal, just please, a little kindness. Thank you.
Leona just taking all this.
Noted.
Mary just rolls her eyes.
Damn. That's an inch away from a glove slap. Well done.
Okay. So, on tenuous threads,
Sleepy
To
time?
my feather.
it's not sleepy time, but you do have the afternoon if anyone needs to buy anything.
Ooh. I can't.
You have 12 silver pieces, I believe.
Yes, but I have maximum burden.
Do
Don't
you?
I? No,
Yes,
I
No.
don't. No, I can't
You,
get it back.
you have one item. No, you can't.
How much is a backpack?
You have backpack.
Your weapon is your backpack.
That's right. That's
You
the
have
thing
the
I was thinking of.
yeah,
Yeah,
Pack on back.
Yeah.
Yes, sorry,
And the
that's what I
backpack
wrote, yes.
doesn't cost anything while you're wearing it. Is that correct?
Backpacks don't take burden while you're
Yeah.
wearing them.
So
You
does
can
that
only have
mean
one.
you
her
have one?
weapon
Yeah, because
doesn't
hers
take
is
burden
for
as the
burden or
backpack?
backpack.
Yeah, got
Did
it.
you buy one?
That's right.
Did I? Yeah. Well,
How did
we
you
can
spend
say
your
I
money,
got
Richie
it
Rich?
this afternoon.
Go on.
Hey, I actually think
You know
Murray
something
has more money than
awful?
me.
What?
Yeah.
You know how much Leone's starting weapon was?
How much?
300.
300. So I'm broke.
It was literally everything she started with was just a weapon.
Sorry, he gave me 12. Is that right? 12
12.
silver.
Yeah.
Oh my god. Yeah, I have a.
I'll stop complaining.
I do have a tent
Grass, baby.
with camping supplies that my
Oh, you're
sister
very
gave
well
me
prepared.
that I didn't think I would have to use, but I suppose if
You
you
know,
guys want it, we can use it.
I'll use it.
I'm quite happy to sleep under the stars, but
It's
thank
good
you.
for the complexion.
Yes. Fresh air never hurt anyone.
Have you slept under the stars much?
Many a time.
Right. By choice
Yes.
or circumstance?
Depends. Choice.
Well-
Desperation sometimes.
Yes, I see them as very similar. You choose your circumstance.
There was a few weeks where the tiles fell off the roof above Arvin's quarters. He was sleeping under the stars, weren't you, buddy?
Oh, hey, yes. Oh, they missed me. Luckily, I wasn't asleep. Because I sleep when the sun's up.
Oh. How often do you check this building for falling roofs?
When it falls.
What's for dinner? I sort of say, like, just anywhere.
Looking at nothing.
Perhaps they need help preparing it. I will be back.
Right.
Right. For the record, we don't really do a lot of inspections. The engineers who work here like to sort of use that as a
Live life on the
opportunity.
edge.
Pretty much.
I want to go find Emily.
Okay. You find Emily in the kitchen, preparing for the evening meal.
Can I help
Help?
you, Emily?
Always. Here, cut these vegetables.
I start chopping away. This guest of ours is looking in a lot to building defects and things. She's very nosy.
Oh, darling, she just wants to feel important. It's her first big job, I think.
I'm
And she's got honestly, the dodgiest guild in the city, she says with a smile.
just worried if there is anything I can do to help. This place has really given me a chance when nobody could. So
Make a good showing of yourself. I'm sure there's no silly little building inspection that will get us in trouble. It's more likely if one of you tries to, burn something down. Don't do that.
I won't.
She looks at the stove as you're cooking dinner and is just sort of like, we'll see about that. Now, those vegetables. Thinner. Now, do we
Every
have
time she wants something thin.
anything
People want
to buy in the city
Yep.
before we head out tomorrow morning?
I'm going to go about and seeing if I can acquire. This will happen depending on the answers I get from the party as we were standing there. Like, do we have the various rations enough for everyone?
I have short rations.
So
I can
basically
share.
one person.
How long does
I
short
can go out and get
rations
more.
last?
So I will
will
provide
I'm gonna go out and
you.
get the supplies that we would need.
I will provide you with a caveat or a piece of information. You won't need to purchase the items, the rations items, provided that you are staying and stopping along your journey, and you are in a fairly populated part of the country. So you will be able to manage by going to taverns and places if you don't want to purchase quest rations. So that's sort of like long, perishable food, non-perishable food, like dungeoneering food.
Yeah. Okay. Yep. Sure.
So as long as you're staying on the road and stopping at towns, you'll be able to get food on the
If
way.
you have some coin.
If you have some coin.
Okay. I don't have coin. But I have rations.
I have debt. I'll maybe go and fetch my horse wherever it is.
Okay.
I'm sorry, you have a horse?
I do
Well, that'll
have
be
a
outside
horse.
the.
You have a horse?
I do.
That'll be outside the city in the
Did you
stables.
bought one? Did you buy it?
I
Yes.
earned it.
Fine. Whatever. It's a horse.
It's a gift horse.
Sure. Okay.
Don't look it in the mouth.
Yes.
So
Yes.
it comes with its own silver spoon.
Yes, I'll just probably spend the day going and
Checking
getting
on the
that
horse and ensuring. Yep.
bringing it in.
Oh, it's in the stable outside town. You can get it on the way out. Horses don't live in
Oh,
the city.
sweet. Okay, okay.
A name.
Yes, I did have a name.
That was just horse.
I think it was Snowstorm.
Oh, that's a good
Ooh,
name.
Actually, your horse is probably in the stables in the upper high ward, not in the outside the town. So yeah,
So I would have to go and get it.
either in the morning or the evening. But where are you going to put it? In between,
Next
just hitch it
to-
outside the building.
Yep.
You can do that. People
Yeah.
hitch horses in the street.
Yeah.
It's not.
Kind of looks like a shed anyway.
I still got like the wood lots and everything. It could be.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Kitchen post.
Anyone else? We happy to fast track to the morning?
Yeah.
Okay. So the night passes without incident, and the morning comes. Sunrise wakes many as the sun glows through open windows and a breeze comes in.
I have
It's
not
time.
gotten up yet.
You haven't gotten up yet.
She has not appeared yet. Getting some beauty sleep.
Leonie
Who's first
is,
up? What are we
yeah,
doing?
Leonie's going to be there super early and have
Well,
all
Leonie didn't sleep there.
no, yeah, exactly. But she's still going to be there
Okay.
very early because she will have done all of her chores for the day, all of her jobs that she needs to get done. So
Mm-hmm.
she'll be there finishing up.
Lorenzo also would have gotten up early. He's eager to make a good impression. So he's tried to help doing any packing, the morning meal, so everyone can just sort of eat and we can all head off. And he's just trying to be generally a positive presence.
Cool.
Cool.
Arvin.
I rock up about on time.
Okay. And Bianca is not there.
I will rock up a bit later.
So typical.
Arvin, good to see you. We all ready?
Yeah, I've
Yes,
had
wide awake.
And awake.
nearly 3 hours sleep.
Adjust
good,
my hat.
good to see you, Bianca. How did you sleep?
Oh, splendidly. Thanks.
Good.
Yeah, good.
Here's the tents.
Much
I
appreciated.
Yeah.
can put it on the horse.
Oh, you're putting your backpack on the horse.
Horse.
I can.
Oh, that's amazing.
I would try and
we-
I'll saddle it up
Yeah,
with
you
the
can
backpack.
just like
This
saddle
is
back.
I'll let either
quite
pat
an
the
honor.
horse
We
if he
have
wants to as well.
we are being escorted by the King's Cavalier themselves.
Yes.
And horse.
Yes.
And horse.
Well, I've actually haven't been outside the city, so maybe
Really?
he'll be escorting me.
Ever?
Well, on a little, like a guard route, maybe, just to suss it out, but not really another town. We're the Cavaliers of the Crown here.
Well, I have only been really in the town I grew up in the north, but I too am looking forward to seeing the countryside for the first time.
Yes, the country.
Leone like flashbacks of like desert wind, like river, like jungles, riverside jungles, then like panning to like 5 beautiful cities in the oligarchy with like silken flags fluttering in the wind, and then like camels cresting a horizon, and then like a massive port, a huge ship with sails going across the ocean, islands are coming in, but then like 5 different towns in Lucevera as you made your way to Allegrano, and it's just sort of like, they're like, I've never left the city. You're like, I've traveled halfway across the world.
I feel like there's great music accompanying that.
Yeah, for sure.
As well.
And Arvin's more travelled as well, I guess.
Yeah. All right. Well then.
I assume none of you have horses, so
Nope.
we'll
Correct.
just travel alongside.
Yes.
All right.
Well, Bianca, if you will allow me to, I will lead the way.
After you.
All right. Everyone good?
Ready?
Yeah.
Let's go.
All right.
And you set off, heading south through Allegrano, through the Guild Ward, down towards Fair Market. And as you move through the streets, the hustle and bustle is already starting as people are setting up market stalls and going about their daily business, getting to their workplaces in the morning. And as you reach the fountain at Fair Market, you see 2 town guard pulling open a stockade and like half kicking, half sliding a man out of the stocks, who falls in a heap on the ground, covered in like shivering and covered in rotten and wet fruit from the day before, with bruises and bludgeonings.
Is it the same person?
Oh yeah, it's the same person you saw. And one of them was like, right, well, I hope you learned your lesson. But if you're not off the ground in, well, now, he doesn't have a watch.
No, he just looks at the wrist
He
for
just
no
looks,
reason.
looks around and he's like, you'll be back up there for a day. And the guy like almost drags himself along the ground for like 5 seconds, and then like manages to get up and like hobbles and starts limping up north towards the commons, and looks past you with a very brief moment where his eyes lock with Bianca's, and he sort of scowls, and then he keeps walking.
The person or the guard?
The person, not the
Okay,
guard.
Yeah.
As he notices you who threw the first fruit.
My personal headcanon is that the guard's arm hair was just so thick that he was actually using it as a sundial.
It's so unwashed that it was in one big matted strand catching the sun.
Yuck.
Okay.
Friend of yours?
No, some scoundrel, it seems.
So it would seem.
Is there always a kerfuffle happening around these areas? The guards do a lot around here?
Certainly kept busy.
Must be used to it.
And you begin to walk under the gates as you're walking and talking, the large, massive gates that lead south out of Allegrano. A few guards look at you, these wearing a red tunic. These are not the militia. These are the military. There is a small standing army. Societies can't usually afford to maintain standing armies in a peerage system. That's what knights and retainers are for. But there is a small standing army, and one of their functions is to defend the outside of the city from attack. And those guards are not a militia like the ones that enforce the law, but they do look up and give you a jaunty like, "Good day. Enjoy. Safe travels, Cavalier."
Thank you.
And guests, attendants. Attendants, yes.
We had attendance.
Wave lazily.
And you step outside the capital city for the first time to the beautiful farmland, grass and hills, but immediately before you, wide roads trodden up and muddy with some gravel thrown down to aid in the walking. There are buildings fairly regularly as you head out of the city, and there's sort of a small town district spread outside the city walls. And the day is becoming a beautiful one. Birds are chirping, the sun is shining, and the road ahead of you is, well, not too long, really.
What's the foot traffic like going in and out of the
Fairly heavy right now.
Peak hour.
A lot of people coming in with carts, with wares on it, with food that they're bringing into markets to sell. People leaving to go out and do the laundry, like Leone might have been, to go and do chores, pick up things. Yeah, there's lots of travel in and out right now.
Cool. Yeah, Arvin is very interested in just all the comings and goings, just what people are carrying and bringing into the city and the like.
I think I'll be questioning them along the way as the way of polite conversation. What exactly are we picking up in this shipment? May I ask?
Oh, it's a bunch of materials, wood, stone for masons, copper, a bunch of materials for alchemy and such.
And do we know why it's been delayed? Just mysteriously.
That's why we're going.
Yep. Exactly.
So
We get the
nothing-
joy of finding out.
Nothing in there that would attract thieves, it seems like, if it's just wood and stone.
One can only imagine.
Are they chemical ingredients hard to find?
Some, not at all. Others, for sure.
And say we face trouble along the way, are you guys going to be equipped to handle it?
Trouble?
Yes.
I like the
gesture
confidence.
to the big hammer.
Oh, yes.
Do you use that?
I am very
As a
good at using
weapon.
this, but not for a weapon. This is a tool. This is for breaking stone and
Which
building.
is why
This
you've
is
brought
hard.
it now.
Well, it comes in useful. I sometimes needed to earn my keep, and
It's
I
okay,
can
Lorenzo.
help. Sometimes you can break up things blocking the road.
I mostly need you to
To
help.
be honest, I just never leave anywhere without it all my life.
I don't actually. I don't expect you to fight, Lorenzo. You're here to basically help lift anything
Who would
anything's
expect
broken.
us to fight?
Well, if there are thieves taking the shipment.
If anything comes to it, I just want you there for intimidation. Okay?
Okay.
He is
Sorry.
quite big. That's smart.
Yes.
Lorenzo looks like so perplexed at the idea, but he just wants to be willing.
He wants to be
But
useful.
the idea just seems so foreign to him. He has no idea what you're talking about.
I don't think
Sure,
Lorenzo's ever
intimidate.
broken a
I'll
sweat
be
before.
intimidating. He's used to getting his way by batting his eyelids and saying, "I'll work for you."
Yes, thankfully, we'll have the extremely talented lady here with her sword, who, if things should ever come to
Why
that,
are we discussing so much a danger?
she brought it up.
Well, we
Stop
have to be
bringing up
prepared. That's part of, if you go out to someplace unexpected, you have to prepare for the
Prepare
unexpected.
for the dragon. Things that
Pirates.
do not happen.
Well,
We were talking about pickpockets, but
Yeah, it's
sure,
not a
dragon.
dragon.
Pickpockets? You think this is for the pickpockets?
Well,
He's
to
just
scare
holding this
them.
giant hammer.
That's why I don't think a pickpocket would want to deal with that.
The
And if
trick,
a dragon shows up, you have my permission to not fight that either.
the trick with the pickpockets is to have empty pockets. I say happily.
I see.
He's a very happy-go-lucky.
I'm beginning to see that.
Got his hammer over my shoulder. Yeah.
Okay, onward.
He's very sweet.
I'm gonna say I'll be singing humming a little tune as well. The sort of there are sort of working tunes that the stonemasons will sing to get through the day. So we'll sort of hum a few of those.
Thinking of dwarven
Yep.
songs.
Yeah, exactly. Dooga dooga. Smashy smashy rock.
While ago, I sort of want to sidle back as sort of they move a little bit ahead, and I want to sort of catch up with Leone. Say, so that's it? Is it finished?
Does what? What?
Come on, you don't think I don't know about you conspiring back there?
Oh, this, and I
Yes.
curse the singer.
Yes, it's done.
Yes. I kind of look at Banker, make sure that she's
I'm
distracted.
up there listening to his song.
Oh, up there.
Look down, don't look at me.
Yes. Go on.
Libero cannot hide. He's as subtle as the pox.
Yes.
So I knew you were up to something.
I just don't know which to try first. Do I do the rocket? Do I do the spear? Do I do something else? There's so many options.
That is exciting. I'm happy for you.
I'm happy for me too.
Excellent. Oh, well, I mean, I hope that it doesn't come to testing it on anything that isn't a tree.
I do.
There you go. This attitude will be great to have on this adventure.
Yeah.
Can you all make a acuity check?
Okay.
Challenge level 4.
Oh, so you
I
got
have
your
3
dice.
dice, so that's a no for me.
I did.
You're whistling and walking along,
Bucket.
humming and singing your song. I don't necessarily expect anyone to make this, but I'm providing the opportunity.
One success.
One success. It's a very hard check, but it's
Oh, damn.
4 successes.
Hell yeah. Someone is a keen observer.
And while everyone else is
She must
walking,
be. She must see a speck
Yeah.
of dirt on the floor.
Every speck.
Every speck.
Bianca hears just echoing down from high above, like it's almost like your ears are attuned to it.
Maybe she sees her horse's ears prick.
Yeah, that's a good one.
You hear a very particular cry, a bird's call, and it's one that you've heard before, and your eyes immediately would snap up to it in excitement as you see way up high and flying towards the castle what you know to be a very large bird with beautiful red plumage and a long tail and some of the most stunning coloration in the world that exists, that some say from below looks like the bird is a rippling cascade of fire as it soars towards the palace. You know that this is a very special bird. You know it is a phoenix, and one of the creatures in the king's menagerie, and one of the only ones allowed to travel freely because it is very loyal and very intelligent and always comes home.
Do you think the musketeer feathers are modelled off phoenix feathers?
There
The
are
cavalier feathers,
some of
sorry?
the greatest sort of gift that you can receive. In fact, something that is often received when being promoted to like the leader of the Cavaliers is the king himself will present one of the phoenix feathers to a cavalier to put in their hat.
I guess I'll point up at it. I'll show Lorenzo everything. Look at those feathers.
Do I catch it in time?
Yeah, if you're directed to it. Yeah.
Yeah.
If I could have one of those in my hat, that would be the dream. Well, not a dream, but
It's probably the
Would be
most
pretty
beautiful
cool.
bird you've ever seen.
Yeah, the color is. I am speechless. Stunning.
you like colours.
Yes. In fact,
And you work with stone.
it's a long story.
Well,
Feathers are a funny thing, aren't they?
I mean, do you mean funny in the sense that if you tickle it under their chin, you can make someone laugh?
You made a joke.
I can joke.
You can joke.
People just don't expect it, that's all. That's why they don't laugh.
Or maybe that makes it more effective. Like a surprise joke.
Exactly.
I
Like a prank.
I like this side of you, Bianca. I like your feather too. I don't know
Thank
if I
you.
commented this before. But,
No, well, Leonie said she didn't really like it, so...
the colors are amazing. Unfortunately, pigment cannot be captured from something like a feather and turned into like a paint. But if only one could capture the vibrant color pluck it out from a feather itself. Pure beauty. And then he looks up and just sighs, looking at the
Probably
bird.
gone.
It's like soaring down
Yeah.
towards the castle now. Now, time travels onwards as you journey by foot. Minutes crawl to hours as you pass stretches of farmland, small clusters of houses, roughly maybe every half hour. You're going along the road, and there'll be a cluster of maybe like 10 houses pulled together into a hamlet, where communities naturally build together. So often what will happen, sort of like farms will be all connected in such a way that their properties are managed, but their homes and homesteads are all in a little group. But their lands all extend out in all the different angles. And you journey onwards like this as the hours of the day travel, and just continuously, almost mathematically precise, roughly every half an hour at this distance from the city, you're just walking past another little hamlet. As there's people everywhere, people in the fields, people farming, working, traveling still, coming to and from. It's very populated and very busy. I mean, obviously now on the country road with a few hours travel, busy means every now and then someone walks past you, as opposed to like the open roads with no one on it. And you journey. Hours pass. and you follow the road. At a certain point, the road peels, following the coastline. And the coastline here, in this part of LUCEVERA, in the earldom of Avomere, where you are now traveling to, this earldom, is part of the duchy. And while it is coastal, this coast is kind of like rocky and it's not a nice, I think like it's various areas in Scotland and Wales and England, like very rocky, cliffy coastline. It's not like beaches and there's a lot of cliffs and altitude drops. So it's not really a coastal area despite being coastal in terms of its commerce. But you are seeing lots of farms pressed up against the cliffside.
What's the road like at this point?
Very well maintained. It's a very good quality road. But the road does peel off in two major directions. There's lots of small roads going off, running down the sides of farming lots and all over the place. But there is a road that just follows the coastline, and there's a road that peels towards the southeast, and that's the road you know you're to be taking. And you journey onwards, and you travel for several hours. And
Our legs
take some
getting
breaks.
sore.
I'd say you take some breaks, like every couple of hours. You're just traveling at traveling pace. So you're like walking. The horse that you're on is walking. Everything's fine. You probably take a break every like 2 hours just for 15 minutes because you're in no hurry.
Have you guys ever ridden a horse?
Horse? No.
Never ridden. Done a few months of caring for them.
Oh, yes.
I went through the donkey when I was little as a joke.
You what? Rode a donkey?
Yes.
Oh, okay. Yes.
We were kids. We tried to, jump on the donkey and see who could stay on the longest before I got upset.
And how did that work out?
Oh, terribly.
They're quite wild sometimes.
Yes.
Donkeys. Yeah.
How about you? Have you been riding for long?
Yes. Well, this is my horse. I've grown up riding.
Really?
Yes.
What is the horse's name?
Snowstorm.
Snowstorm. I'm assuming it's a white horse.
It's a white horse.
Wow.
It kind of has like the grey specks on it as
Gotcha.
well, a bit like snow.
So how old is he? She?
I don't know how old do horses get. She.
Up to like 20 years old.
Be about 10.
You would have probably gotten it when you became.
When I became a musketeer.
Yeah. So,
Okay.
but could have been, probably would have been like
Could have been 3 or
Maybe
4
like
years old.
yeah, before
then.
getting it. Yeah.
Yeah.
3 or 4 years is when they're like rideable.
Okay, let's say 8.
Okay.
Cool.
Yeah. She's getting on, but she does a good job.
As the afternoon sort of continues on, you notice the flow of people gets thicker. It had been thinning throughout the day significantly as you got to midday. But as you are reaching closer to like late afternoon, you see that there are more people coming back with empty carts, bags, traveling in the direction that you're headed, which sort of indicates to you a change in the flow of like population centers. And as you continue down this road, and it doesn't quite take you to sunset, but you have crossed around 20 miles. So you've been traveling, you've walked about 30, 35 kilometers, traveling through many, many hamlets. And as you crest a hill in this area, you look down and see a town, a sort of small town, maybe a population of a couple of 200-300 sitting ahead of you. And that is where the people are coming from, heading home for their days at those local markets or those businesses towards all the houses and homesteads in the surrounding area.
And is the sky like darkening? And
It's like pre-sunset, so it's still quite light.
Oh, it will be nice to put my feet up. It's been a
goodness.
long journey.
town. Great. This looks like a nice place to stop, do you think?
I'm
Yes.
hungry.
Perfectly happy to stop here.
Yeah, hungry for biscotti, maybe.
Oh, I doubt we will get something that nice on the road.
Yes.
Not like Amelie makes.
I had mine last
Yes.
night. It was very good.
Very good, eh?
Do you
Yes.
get that every day?
Well, on the good days. Most days are good days with Amelie.
That's good to hear.
It's true.
She'd never had any baking accidents.
Oh, she's a master. All trades.
That's true.
She is the master of hers.
Good mix.
At this distance from the city, no one is paying any of you any heed. Nothing about any of you is of interest to anyone or of abnormality to anyone. There's a few looks of nods of respect and thing to a cavalier.
Yeah,
But
my horse.
nothing is unusual. Like Leone being from Kajet and Bianca being a cavalier, like you see people from Kajet, you see cavaliers, you see alchemists, you see guilders. It's just nothing. You see, pretty much moving through without any real impact. Like it's no one's stopping you or being interested. And you arrive at the fringe of this little town where a large wooden sign is painted Langstead. It says on the front of the town of the sign. And you begin walking through now the quality of the roads is diminishing a little bit. It's more sort of mud and gravel here than the sort of pavement of Valagrano and then the sort of gravel roads.
So your first town outside of Allegrano.
Exciting.
Well, let us see. A place to stay? An inn tavern?
Yes, inn would be wonderful, and preferably somewhere that I can store my horse as well.
I believe they should cater to that.
A stable?
Yeah, it should be big enough that they'd have some sort of establishment at least nearby.
Although sometimes there are stables at like the front of a town, right?
Yeah.
Where everyone
And
boards
as
their
you walk
horses.
into the town,
Yeah.
there is a stable.
I shall attempt to board my horse,
Cool.
but I will take my pack off.
Okay. Head up to the stable.
May I carry it for you?
Oh, only if you like, sure.
Of course.
Yeah.
Cool.
Thank you.
Backpack. My pleasure.
You have very lovely manners. It says nothing.
Of course. Yeah, just like a big blank smile holding your pack. Yeah.
We'll head on to find an inn.
So you go to the stable.
Yeah.
You're going to drop your horse off.
Yes.
Well, there's a man there
Okay, there's a man.
What's he doing in the stable?
sweeping up.
He's horsing around.
Welcome to Langstead. How are you doing?
Don't do the cricket. Okay, good. Lovely. Thank
Horse, board. Yes.
you. Yes, please.
Wonderful.
How much?
That'll be a quarter.
I will hand over a quarter.
You do not have a quarter.
I
You
will
have
hand
silver
over
pieces.
a silver piece. Do you have any change?
He looks confused. What's change?
Oh, is it different currency?
Is there a different currency here?
No.
Do no? So what is a quarter?
I'm going to come up and sort of push in and get him the right denomination.
You don't have it.
Really?
You have a silver piece.
Okay.
It says quarter a night. How many nights?
Okay. I assume 4 quarters equals a silver.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, we were only going to stay one night.
All right. And your name? He pulls out a piece of paper.
Bianca
He writes
D'Aquila,
down your name.
Cavalier of the Crown.
And he's writing information. Owing court? Or are you... Well, I'm assuming, you'll build up a tab.
We are just staying the one a night. Although
We were
on
just
the way
passing through.
back, perhaps.
Sure.
So we could meet halfway, pay ahead, and just.
Yes, let's just say paid for 4 nights. Might use all of them, but we'll just use one now.
Oh, you're paying ahead then. All right.
Yes.
Oh, well, he writes that down. You're like, oh, thank you very much. We've got 3 nights left there. And he writes another bit down and rips it off and hands it to you.
Thank you.
No, nobody pays their tab up front. Cavaliers are all right. And he tips his little farming hat
It's the
to you.
honourable thing to do.
Oh. My miss will be happy. And then he goes off and keeps sweeping. And the horse is looked after. He said, extra hay, the fresh one. Fresh stuff from the top for yours.
Yes, look after her.
And then you head deep into the town.
Do we know, just off to the side, if it's going to be an issue paying for an inn without quarters, shall we say?
Quarters is not a currency. So,
as in a quarter of a silver.
so a
comprehend
complication with traveling in this kind of society is coins were minted from real materials, silver. They have an inherent value, and effectively most goods were much cheaper than that. So most commerce operates on tabs. and you run a tab and you pay your tab. However, for travelers, it's a bit awkward because like for local townships, it's just like, fine, you come have a beer. It'll be like a tenth of a, whatever. And then you have 10 beers and you pay me a silver. That's fine. I see you every night. Even if it takes you 10 days or 3 weeks, you pay your tab when your tab's due. But when you're traveling, it's a bit more awkward. So you may end up having to pay more for things relative to what the locals do, based purely on the quirks of the literal currency, that the smallest denomination you have. But you can trade services, is a way that people can, trade goods for services. Yeah.
Yeah, you can sort of haggle it around to make ends.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay. Yeah, sure. Okay, I understand now.
And it might be easy to pay for multiple people to stay in a place with one person, and then you just get them back next time, and it's going to be very confusing, but it's very slightly historically accurate, so I like it.
and does
World building.
The main town, does Allegrano and
Same thing, runs on
It's
tabs and
all
stuff.
like that?
Yep.
Okay.
But you go to the same venues, and yeah.
Yeah. All right, we proceed to the inn.
Yeah, what do we see?
Well, very unusual. There are 3 inns in this town, which usually a town of this size would maybe have 1.
Oh my goodness, what are their names?
The names of the inn.
Yes.
You have the tallow and the tuba, which are across from each other. They seem to be like kind of competing. And then the other one across the lane that's a little bit smaller is called the Wonky Wheelbarrow.
Are we far from the stables that we just walked away from?
I mean, the town is pretty small. Like
Yeah.
you can see the entrance to the town from the center of
Can
the
I
town.
say I'd asked for a recommendation for where to stay? Since we're endeared to this.
Wheelbarrow.
this
He's
man?
going to say he's like, I've never stayed any of them because of my house.
I don't know.
Surely travelers would have comments.
Now, just as a little minor plug, so I'm just going to add here,
Bring out the
Can I
map.
flick over to the...
Wonky wheelbarrow.
Wonky-
Can I show it?
Wheelbarrow.
at Wonky Wheelbarrow,
Yeah.
at Tuba,
We can't quite see it on the screen, but we believe you.
at, what was the other one? The Tallow. There you go. There are 3 inns that now have pages that I can write in if it becomes relevant. And I will never again tell you the sausage is made. I totally knew them. They were existing in the document.
You're so well prepared.
Yeah, I had 3 names for inns.
The next place we go to, it's the same name.
Tuba sounds musical. Maybe you like that one. You like your humming songs.
That sounds delightful. Let's go.
It's easy to please. Let's go.
So you head
Very
into
well.
the large, heavy building, a round tavern. It's like almost bulging at the sides. And you head inside. A lady at the counter greets you. Hello, how are you?
Quite good, but our legs are, a bit sore. from our
Traveling to
walk.
the great capital, yes?
Traveling from the great capital.
Oh, more unusual, but the vineyards down in Vinfera, very, very popular. Yes, you stay the night, 4 of you?
Yes.
Just one night?
Yes, I believe
Very
so.
easy. That's a 2 silver tot.
2 silver.
I would like to offer my services if there is any firewood to chop to help with the cost. I
I'll
am
just
a-
place 2 silver down on the
I
Just
like.
pay.
I'll just pay.
Okay.
Oh no!
We don't have enough time to pass around, surely. We have to get to the shipment.
It will not slow us down. I just work in the evening and sleep. You.
No, 2 total. Half
Total,
each.
yeah.
Oh.
I will not be a burden on you. You are our guest.
Thanks.
Right, well, it's on the counter. It's fine.
She takes the money that's in front of her.
Next time.
I will take a paying customer anytime. I'll show you to your room.
The finest room you have. Thank you.
Oh, we all share the same room?
She heads upstairs, where she takes you all, and there is a large room with about 12 beds in it and a fireplace
Whoa.
in the corner and some furniture. And there's even this early in the afternoon, there's someone who looks like they worked like the 5 o'clock shift or is traveling on some big journey, maybe like a traveling worker, whatever. Their like shoes are flicked off and they're sort of laying in bed, snoring, asleep already. It's fairly warm, inviting, and comfortable. It's just a communal sleeping room.
You're right. This does look like a good choice.
Yeah, this is fairly standard for inns. Independent rooms is like very upmarket.
Yes. Good pick, Lorenzo.
Never stayed in this before.
It wasn't. It was actually Bianca.
Yeah, and it bounces on the bed. Is it soft?
She
It's like a straw bed.
assumed
it's comfortable.
correctly
It's
that
comfortable.
something musical and creative would be delightful, and she was right.
Yeah, so you have to notice things as a cavalier. So I've noticed. Anyway, this will be a new experience.
So you stay at the Tuba. It's a fairly nice stay. Actually, the highlight is you have a really delicious pumpkin and bacon soup. It's like a really thick, hearty. I said pumpkin. I meant to say potato. Sorry, it's a potato and
I'll
bacon
take
soup.
pumpkin.
Pumpkin
No,
is
it is. It is a tuba. It's a potato soup with bacon in it. And it is very buttery and creamy
Now I want soup.
and really delicious. And that's included, of course. And you sleep soundly, I guess.
Lorenzo will stay up for a few extra hours when others are sleeping. He's just struck by the memory of the phoenix, so he's going to be doing some drawing and letting that sort of get away with him a little
Cool. Very good.
bit. Sitting by the
Bianca
fireplace.
sleeps with her hat on her head. As in, like, on her face. So she'll be, like, lying on her back. And the hat is slightly tilted over the face like an eye mask.
Yeah. Arvin's fallen asleep sort of close to the fireplace with some parchment sprawled on him.
Classic. It's like your extra bed sheet. It's just parchment.
Yeah, exactly.
And then
Just like my
Yes,
bedsheet is extra
snort away.
parchment.
the night passes. Presuming there's nothing you would like to do in Langstead, you can head on, pick up your horse, and move on out.
Yeah. That sleep reminded me of when I used to board with my siblings.
Well, actually, the vineyard that was mentioned that was nearby, can I source perhaps a bottle of it to take back to Amelia?
Can I get you to make I'm going to say it's understanding your local knowledge of the area, because you've lived in Allegrano for many years. Challenge level's only this close to the city, only 2.
My understanding. Which one, sorry?
Understanding. Is that knowledge now? Do I have an old character sheet?
Yes, we have a knowledge.
Took it out.
Knowledge.
Yeah, we took it
Understanding changed to knowledge because I kept asking for knowledge checks. But I
Now
have
you asked us.
sorry, I have an old character sheet that says understanding on my character sheet.
out. Yeah, I'll
I was
just
like, am I blind?
No, knowledge check.
Cool.
He's a current one.
Thank you.
Oh, that's
Challenge level was 2.
much better than me just writing
Cool.
everything.
Right, I got 4.
Okay. So you are vaguely familiar with the local surroundings of Allegrano, like decently. And you know that the area you are in, as I mentioned, is, of course, the Earldom of Avomere, which is ruled by the Earl Amos Braden. But the area you're about to enter tomorrow is the Barony of Piare, and baronies break up earldoms. Some, not all of the earldom territories is ruled by barons, but the peerage system goes baron up. So baron is low. But basically, the barony of Piare is known for its fruit and wine, and that is where you're headed, but you're not there yet. So you probably could get a bottle of wine here. You actually know that there are like gorgeous vineyards, and that particular region is one of the biggest wine growing regions in LUCEVERA. So
Okay, I'll hold off for that.
yeah, cool.
As we're sort of
You also know, not that you'd mentioned it to anyone, that you'll be traveling through Delford, Pomelis, Vinferra, and then you'll be arriving at Blavium, which is your destination. These are the major
we'll
towns.
pass
There's lots
those
of
in a
hamlets.
day.
You'll get in one day. You'll pass through one about lunchtime, and you'll arrive at the second one in the evening.
Cool. So we all pack up and
Awesome.
get a move on. And as we're sort of gearing up and heading off, I mentioned to Bianca, you said in passing, it reminded you of when you slept with your siblings.
Yes.
How
well,
many siblings do you have?
I have 6.
6.
Yes, so boarded with a lot of them, obviously.
And you are old, young,
The youngest.
the youngest
Yes.
of 6.
Lucky last of 7.
Do you get special treatment as the youngest in a family?
Well, special treatment. No, there's so many of us. We all set out on our own journeys.
One in a big litter?
Yes, precisely. Do you have any siblings?
Ad, a brother.
Right. Older, younger?
He was older. Changing the subject is like, what do your siblings do?
Well, one of them is, what's the title? Lieutenant. Lieutenant of the common area of the city.
Wow.
So.
Very
yes.
prestigious family.
Yes, well, he got the family sword. It's gorgeous. You should see it. But.
And the other 4?
Oh, married, exploring, academia. Kind of branched off in every direction, really.
You say these things so flippantly, but each sounds like an adventure.
Well, it's not for everyone. I tried a bit of academia. It wasn't really for me.
You, what was your education?
No, just history and the war and... I don't know, I got a bit bored.
You learnt about the war.
I didn't really get too stuck into it. I wanted to be out there, wielding the blade rather than reading about it.
Not so bookish then.
No, well, I don't mind occasional leisurely read, but
And I look
Always
at your
working.
sword, and I'm like, your sword isn't too bad yourself. So
thank you.
if your
Yes.
brother's is as impressive as you say, then, well, I am impressed by this.
Yes, well, this is a standard issue Cavalier one, so...
Standard.
Oh, Cavaliers get this.
Wow.
You sort of walk past that. Standard. Impressive.
Well, just how you are trained in the hammer, and you're trained in chemicals. I'm trained in the blade. We all have our specialty, right? In your all trades assembly.
That we do.
Yes. Well, this isn't quite my trade, not my aspirational trade, but yes.
It's what you're good at,
It's... Yes.
right? And you're going to be testing this thing.
That cuts deep. She's like seen my art book. She's like, but you're good at the hammer.
That's what you're good at.
Conveniently
Hey, she's
forgetting.
never seen you rule a straight
Stick
line.
to
So
smashing bricks.
just wait until she sees how straight the lines are on your technical drawings.
Yeah.
You've never seen that yet.
No,
That's true.
okay, all
That's
right.
true. And you're going to be testing something, presumably.
Yes.
And you can do that at any time.
Maybe that will be
Not in
your
the bedroom.
specialty thing. Maybe that will be your specialty trade thing. Is that
What-
how this works?
This.
Yes.
We will see.
Well, I assume I've been informed it's not just cleaning. There's
Yes.
more.
Wow.
Yes.
I mean, you wouldn't care anyway.
Oh, I'm
Have I
asking.
seen Leonie do much tinkering and in the few months I've been there? Do much engineering?
A tiny bit, but almost like you shouldn't have seen it. But
okay.
you've been around enough. She hides it.
Okay.
But she's spent a lot of time with with Libero, and spent a lot of time with Arvin in their rooms. But usually out of hours when you might be in your room or studying. But you have seen a little bit of it.
I think she may be right, Leonie. I sense a spark and interest in you in the engineering trade.
Or just give her things. With this.
Skewer. What is it with you people and violence?
Self-protection.
Yeah.
It sounds
It's fun.
like
You would skewer someone with that.
Well, maybe.
Interesting.
Hopefully.
Well, hopefully only if they deserve it. Otherwise, I might have to arrest you.
Yes.
Good.
Well, to be fair, you're trained in the art of the blade.
I am, but as
is
a
thing of beauty.
protector.
Yes, it is an art form, a thing of beauty in itself,
Yes.
not necessarily just the end result of sticking it into someone.
Yes, but
Like there
it's-
is beauty in the mechanical
I
in the
wouldn't
process.
No
suggest
violence.
testing it on some random subject.
Leona, you're not doing yourself any favors.
Why are you being a little chaos gremlin?
Someone gotta.
It's that cultural reference.
I'm 50% sure Leonie is just deliberately pot stirring as well. I'm not entirely sure. I'm like, is she just saying it deliberately to get a rise?
I mean, what are they going to do? Kick her out of the guild?
No education for you. Oh wait.
So you begin your journey. You travel onwards, I believe,
Onwards.
and
Yes.
about lunchtime, after traveling for approximately another 10 miles, almost conspicuously so, you arrive at the town of Delford, which you know to be a really old, particularly old town. And in fact, unlike any of the established buildings you've seen before, these buildings seem to be like stacked grey stone and thatch roofs, which is not the usual styling of buildings in this region. And it has an age about it. There's collapsed ruins and foundations of buildings off that have been like allowed to lapse towards the fringes. And you get the sense that this place possibly predates Allegrano, at least the current iteration of Allegrano. There is a large granary and an ale house that you pass by, as well as it being situated on a river. And there is also a large mill with a lot of people milling about on the river with a big water wheel.
Nice. Would any of us, with any of our backgrounds knowledge, know why this particular building style is prevalent here?
You did roll 4 on your local knowledge. You just know that this place predates the founding of Lucevera as a country.
It's just older than the current style.
Yeah, in much the same way as like England had like 5 different reigning, like the Romans came, and then like this is just the previous civilization prior to the current one that's built up. These buildings have been there for that long.
Is there much interest in just the general population and what that civilization was like? None.
In fact, it's like considered a good thing that they're not that anymore.
Interesting.
Because Lucevera and is such a wonderful country, and the reign of the king has been, and the Mirto family has led for 300 years, and it's wonderful.
So when Bianca said she studied history, she studied 300 years worth of history.
Yes, that very, very specific.
That's when history began.
Pretty much. Yeah, no, seriously. History began with the founding of Lucevera.
Yeah, okay.
Wow. And the legends around that,
Yeah,
which we'll get into in another
history.
episode.
Okay.
We won't dig into it now.
So with my local history, would I know that this town is a pretty good one to source some of the...
Not yet.
Okay.
This
This is our midday stuff.
This is more where they, this is your midday one. If you want more tidbits, because why not? You do know from that check that you made before that this river, which runs from the mountains around here and now curls around, there's a river that runs down and towards the ocean near Allegrano, is called Le Fleuve Flottant, but it's now commonly just called the River Flottant, which it had a very old name in a dialect that is common, but, older.
Can we see the river from here?
Yeah, well, you walk over it and there's a bridge as you begin to cross the town. And
Everybody, look! It's blue.
it's
Haven't seen that in a while.
Although there is a large log floating down the river.
We see that in Allegrando too.
Don't touch it. Nobody touch it.
That was good timing. That was good.
And you continue on.
The water is quite filthy in your area, isn't it?
Yes.
Unfortunately, yes.
Is that from all
Do
the...
not drink.
No. Was there some kind of spillage or...
You could say that.
Yes.
It's
yes.
because the area is poor.
It's actually industrial waste from all of the
Yes.
alchemy guilds.
The guilds. Yeah. Lovely.
You
It
travel?
was dirty before our building.
Yes, well, honestly, it would be rather impressive if your building alone had done all that. That would be a different kind of impact on the city.
I mean, maybe we could invent a way to
Don't
clean
make
it.
Oh, clean. Sure.
What did you
I
think
thought
I
you
was
were
going
going
to
to make it worse. For a statement.
Contribute.
There are better ways to make your mark.
You continue traveling. Hamlets are frequent, clusters of towns, but the local industry does seem to shift. And you do pass a sign as soon as you cross the river, marking that you have entered the barony of Piare. And you journey passing these hamlets, but you do notice the general industry changes to fruit orchards. There's a lot of fruit trees and fruit orchards, and people traveled from here to the town you were just at for their brewery and meaderies. But yes, you can see it's also becoming very hilly, rolling hills, and you have been climbing in altitude for this whole journey very slowly, but it's becoming now more obvious as roads become rockier and bumpier, narrower, and go up and down rolling hills covered in trees. You're aware that that is largely the reason that the agriculture here favors vines and orchids rather than sort of like flatland agriculture, just because of the soil's really good for it. But there's plenty of water, and also it's very hilly. So yeah, you move on. You travel for the remainder of the day
I'd like to buy an apple.
until you reach. Well, you can get an apple. You can.
Didn't he say an apple from a
Yeah.
specific place?
And at the evening, you arrive at Pomelis.
Ah, that's the one. That word is derived from apple, isn't it?
Yes.
Yeah.
Pom.
And it is the center of a huge number of apple orchards. So funny that.
Lovely.
As you arrive, it is the largest town in the area. You've gone through a bunch of hamlets, but again, it's a town of maybe 200 people or so, clusters of buildings, and big enough to support your basic small trades like a blacksmith, a general store, a small market, and an inn, a single inn.
Yay.
Would you like me to take your horse for board, and you can all?
Are we stopping here for the night? Is that the idea?
I believe so. And I sort of look off to the
The
Sky.
starting to set.
Yes. Okay.
I would not recommend continuing to travel at this time.
No. Sure.
Yes, this would be
I'll-
good. We can look around. I think finding a good place that we can get an apple for young Elio on the way back, because don't want to take it a week that way and then come back with it.
True. Snowstorm will probably find it and eat it.
That too.
All right. I'll give you a coin then, I guess.
Okay.
What are you looking for?
I go to take the horse to a stables.
Mm-hmm.
I pocket the coin,
Okay.
and I go up to the stable master,
Oh God.
and I offer my services. I would like to keep my horse here just one night, and would like to offer to do the entire stable mucking out in the morning in exchange.
Make a charm check. Challenge level for this request is 2.
Okay, got three.
3 successes. He looks you up and down. He's an older man. You do look like a strong sword.
I've dealt with a lot of shit in my life.
Tell you what, a man like you looking to work to pack, that's not stolen, is it?
Pardon?
It has a ribbon.
Beautiful horse
as well.
with the barding
No,
of
no,
the
no.
cavaliers.
It also has a
No,
bow
no,
in
no.
its hair as well.
It would have barding, so it'd have like a little like markings
yeah.
and yeah.
We are traveling with a cavalier and I name the inn. I am just simply taking
Oh,
care
like
of
an
business.
attendant or squire. Yes, I understand. Servant or cavalier. Well, look, someone like you look like you can do the work, and usually it's a quarter to board a horse. But tell you what, you did do well on your charm check. There's a room as well. My youngest child used to use it, but they're well grown now. You're welcome to stay the night as well.
Oh, that is very kind.
Come eat at my table. But to prove you're worth your while, and he like leans over with the pitchfork and he's like, finish up real.
Of course.
And he goes and
And
attacks the horse and says,
I go and scoop off
Attacks
some
the
hay.
horse.
And
he tacks the horse. He just stabs the horse 17 times.
We will eat well tonight.
Come sit at my table. You have brought a feast.
I do some hay scooping and I wander back to the party and I proudly put the coin back in your hand and say, it's taken care of. And no need to pay for my room tonight. I've found a place.
You haven't sold my horse, have you?
No, of course not. I would never do such a thing.
He totally
He's
did.
well taken care of. In fact, I will
Not
be able
helpful.
to keep a closer eye on him to make sure he's taken well care of.
Okay. Well, thank you.
All is well, and I will see you in the morning.
Right.
Good night.
See you then.
Bye.
And I wander off to
Cool.
stay with the stable master.
The rest of you are staying in the inn.
He likes to be helpful, doesn't he?
Or he likes you.
Yeah.
Well, everyone likes me, Leonie. It's not unusual. Let's go in, shall we?
Yes.
Like you're,
You head
Pointedly ignoring that.
yeah.
Your arrival at the inn in this town, the one inn, is immediately causes a stir because as you walk to the entrance, there is that shrill screeching of a startled pig, a large sow that is sitting in a small fenced area at the front of the venue, and at least one of you looks up to your left at the swinging wooden sign that says the Knobbly Trotter as you walk inside this venue and are greeted by several people coming in for a drink. And you ask for a room, I'm guessing.
How much?
How much? It seems that this is a smaller establishment. They say it'll be a quarter each for the night. And they gesture to where you'll be sleeping, which is effectively in the area where like a musician would play and people would eat. There's like these loungy sort of long couches you can lay on and sleep and laid around, and bedrolls that get rolled out onto the floor near the fireplace, but it's in the common area.
Out in the open.
Yeah. The idea of private sleeping is a very modern one.
Cool. I'm gonna walk up to you and say, Bianca, you got the last one. Please allow me to take this one,
Thank you.
and I will pay a full
Silver. Cool. And look, they're not dishonest in this way. They like seeing this basically offer you a list of things that you can also make up the difference with. So you're quite comfortable to have like a couple of beers tonight or local meads or apple wines. Like you get a little bit more than just a feed. You can buy some drinks and have a nice evening
Might
Yes,
try
certainly.
an
while you're
apple wine.
shoveling shit.
Cool. Yes, I will absolutely partake in that.
Cool. And
Thank you very
Lovely.
much.
it's nice. It's rustic, and you sleep well and don't get food poisoning.
Yay.
A win.
For now.
About to make this river bright.
God.
Don't touch the law.
Sorry.
This isn't the Thames. Come on.
Anyway.
The next morning, your work, you do a good job, I'm assuming.
Yep.
Does he come back smelling really
You're like,
bad?
nah.
A little bit, like really, like I was about to say, like agriculture,
farm.
not
Yeah,
like
right.
poo.
Like
You smell
mud.
like hay and mud.
Yeah, and it's more like I've got straw on me. Brush off the sawdust, and I
Snowstorm
I wander up to you
licks
all as
you
you're walking
with the
out
hay.
of the. Oh yeah, we've made good friends.
Your buddies now.
Yeah. I'm
In
good
fact,
friends
in the
with
famous
some-
Pomellus, where pom is com on, you do also get the opportunity to feed Snowstorm.
Beautiful.
On this side.
An apple.
Please tell me that's on this side.
The pom is com on.
As I'm walking back to the group who are sort of filing out of the inn, I crack an apple in half, and I'm feeling.
What?
You people can do that. You
If
do
you have
the
strong hands.
yeah. He's got strong hands.
Big, powerful, strong
No, but
YouTubers.
Jazz
Want me to
said
make
it
a-
like Jazz
shall I
stuff.
make a
Jazz does it
power
all the
check?
time. Have you seen this man? He's buff.
Shall I make
He's
a power
secretly
check?
buff. To crack an apple open? No, you do it easily. Jazza, can you crack an apple open?
I cannot.
Really?
I can rip a phone book in half.
I don't know.
Do we have an
How many
apple?
times have
Do we
you
have an
had to do
apple?
that?
Like
There
a
are apples
dozen.
in the
Do you
kitchen.
want to try?
What?
Do you want to try?
Crack an apple? Sure.
Go get one.
Oh no!
If you can do it, Lorenzo can do it.
No, that's not fair.
Live
We've opened
roleplay.
a dimensional portal
Okay.
to bring the apple into our fantasy world. To
We should
watch
have
me
have an
fail.
apple anyway.
we
as
take-
part of
we
the
take-
You're going to settle this with dice roll. You have to enact this IRL now.
This is, by the
Wait till
way,
we get to the swords
I will give
part.
one tip. Terrible GMing. You should never do this. Your character, of course, should be able to do something that you as a person can't. That's the point of roleplay. But I just
no.
wanted to, you said it
What
so
have I
matter of
done?
factly. Hold on. Okay, now.
I think you have to palm it.
I can hear apple tearing now.
Lorenzo doesn't do it like that.
Okay.
That's a terrifying thing to see from your boss.
Lorenzo, you don't spend a lot of time around women,
That's
do
the
you?
kind of stuff that gives me confidence.
I need to put this somewhere.
That we see when Jazza as a boss does stuff like that, I'm like, now that's a man I can follow. Sign me up.
We need to make a note that's a short right there. That's
Yeah, that is a short. Okay, with some editing to make the portal dimensional portal last less time.
That's a clip.
You set out on your journey the next day and travel for many miles through the beautiful countryside that slowly turns from rolling orchards into grapes as vines on trusses run up and down the hillside, and wine is made. And this time at about lunchtime, in fact, a little bit earlier than that. It's not that huge a distance. These towns are only about 7 miles apart. You come across the town of Vinfera, which is a small town, but noticeably wealthier than the previous 3 you've been in, where the individual houses are larger, built more like Allegrano, and seem to be mostly focused around the mercantile trade of wine selling. There's some,
How far are we from our destination?
half a day. It's
Okay.
the next town.
All right, so by the end of the day, we should be where.
Yeah, this is day 3.
This town is pretty.
It's kind of where I want to get to before we leave.
Looks expensive.
Huh?
What?
What was that, sorry?
I wasn't talking to you, narrator.
Okay. You can just pass through. It's the middle of the day, and you're going to be coming back this way,
Is
maybe.
there much to see?
Let's pass
Just some
through.
vineyards and nice places where you can. It's actually a surprising selection. Is there something to see? It's actually the nicest place you've seen since leaving Allegrano, and there's a few places that aren't common. There's a couple of places that seem to actually just be selling food, like a restaurant style, like a kind of like a winery. Like
eat
they're sort
in?
of like you can eat in, you can try their local produce, and they cook meals and sell bottles of wine. And it's sort of like a thing that, and you get the idea that the market's been established from people who will travel there to like sample wares and then arrange deals for the wine and the food to be delivered to the city or to their estates or whatever. It's a little bit more upmarket.
That looks exciting. I've never tried anything out here, obviously.
Got apple juice in my eye.
Wow, it's just so beautiful.
That's last show of defiance.
Now, are you staying or moving
think
through?
pass through, yeah.
Because it's only early.
Yes, get to business.
All right, you travel through,
Onward.
and the terrain gets steeper, gets rockier as you head. Now you're going sort of southeast. Now you head sharply northeast as the road sort of curls up around. There's some mountains that come down, and you kind of are doing a V around the mountain. You see for the first time forests, quite a lot of forests off, and as you've been heading out, also the density of the hamlets and the amount of houses and things has been slowly dropping. It's still it's a barony. It's a fairly populous area. And of course, between Vinfera and Blavium, you see plenty of hamlets.
It's not a barren barony.
No, it's not a barren barony. It's a whiny barony. You travel the rest of the day, again, without too much displeasure. But it does get steeper, rockier. The terrain also, for the first time in this beautiful day, a few whips of coldness come at you as wind starts to cut across like high altitude areas, and it's just it's a little bit colder. And as evening sets, you get to the point where you would probably want to be putting on a coat, the evening air, and there's a cool breeze. And you arrive on the outskirts of Blavium, which is the first town that you would define as closer to being a city. There's probably sort of 600 or 700 people living here, which is quite a lot for this kind of civilization.
And this is the wine sort of district. And
This is north of that. That was Vinfera, was in the center of the wine district. There is, of course, a lot of trade between the two.
Yeah.
But Blavium is nestled up into the mountains, and well, I guess from what Arvin could tell you all, and probably did over the journey, just in small talk.
Sure. Yeah. I'd be just rapid fire talking about random stuff that appears in my head.
It was originally not the largest town in the region, but has rapidly gotten better and larger due to its veins of copper in the mountains. So it's a copper mining town as well as a lumber town that has moderately recently in the last few decades been declared the capital of a new barony that was awarded during the war. So when the war, there were some new nobles that were kind of gifted title by their deeds, and this barony was one of them. So this town was declared to be the capital of this. So there's no walls around the town. It's just sort of a fairly moderately sized town, but there are a couple of like more expensive looking manor houses right up towards what you're guessing. You're kind of looking up a hill at a town that's built down a hillside. So towards the top, there's mines, but then a little bit before that, there's some manor houses that look a little bit castle-y. You know, they've got that keep vibe. And as you are entering the outskirts of the town, you see a tower, an old tower. It seems almost a bit out of place, a little bit too old, and it doesn't seem to have anyone in it. It's overgrown. It's got moss and vines hanging down it. And the earth sort of thuds as moving back and forth, this strange looking form that, I mean, the only term for it is a construct made of, it almost looks like it's made of stone, is just walking back and forth with these big hanging arms. It's got like some moss and things growing on it, but it also has chalk drawings all over it, like children's drawings that are graffitied all over this thing. As it walks forward and it begins to, you see an area where there's stone rocks that have all collapsed, and there's some old rotten wood that may have been something previously. And sort of hovering a foot above where the wood is now collapsed and broken into the ground, this construct just is moving its hands as if it's performing some operation that is no longer possible. It's just sort of like moving its hands in the air, but in a repeated task sort of a fashion. You can't quite discern what it thinks that it's doing, but whatever function it had there is no longer functioning. And after doing that, it then like hoists onto its shoulder, walks back to where it came, imaginarily puts something down, and then like just slowly like really slowly steps back and stands back over that table and begins repeating this imaginary task.
Is there anyone monitoring, watching?
Nope.
Have any
just
of us
grass
seen
and
anything like this before?
I'd say Arvin has, and you are aware. Yeah, you've seen a construct before. They're very, very rare and usually not randomly abandoned in a countryside.
What about Lorenzo?
You've heard of constructs. You wouldn't have seen one.
This is incredible.
It's unusual.
How did he sit still for the drawings?
You imagine that they probably, well, either his routine changes based off the time or it just happens while he's standing there doing this repetitive task, because he does it for like a couple of minutes and then walks back. So you just easily could just walk up, and it's very slow. Like,
is there anyone nearby sort of?
Oh, look, there's someone walking into town. It's towards the evening nearby, like on the road, maybe like 30 meters ahead of you that you could.
Do they look like familiar? Like this is
They'd be going home for the night from a field or something.
I like trot ahead quickly and just sort of say, excuse me,
hello, traveller.
This thing, what is this?
No. What? I don't really know. Orcus?
How long has it been here for?
My whole life. I've been here my whole life, so.
Doing the
A
same
while.
thing. He's been doing this.
Yeah. Doesn't do much else.
Wow. And the drawings.
Oh, the fun little game. Just a dare the kids do. Yeah, see if you can, see what you can get done before it moves, you know? You don't want to get too close. It's been known to swat people away.
Okay.
Stay close, but brings us a sense of peace, I guess. It's something regular, consistent. You come home to it. We often, and as he almost says it, he like nods back down the road, and you see someone like in the distance, maybe 100 meters behind, a woman coming home from the fields. She's sort of like waving at Orcus as she walks past, and then just walks up and smiles, and they
It's
just
like
keep.
a rhythm, like an heartbeat.
Oh, I wouldn't say something so pretty with my words, but I guess you could say so.
Thank you, sir.
And then
I'll let him go, and Lorenzo closes his eyes, and just to feel the
thud,
Yeah.
thud, thud, yeah, this heavy thing. And contrasted to that, as you look up and you continue walking and look to the side, the other side of the road, you see a bit of a commotion. Someone is crying. Someone is shouting. There's anger in the air. And a whole bunch, probably 3 or 4 townsfolk gathered around looking very confused as you see stone slabs in rows in a way that is only familiar to those who've seen graves, cemeteries. Although, you know, a bit more rustic, a bit more
Would we not
rudimentary.
have seen those?
Yeah, you would have. All of you would have. So, it's like it can only be a cemetery.
old.
That's what I'm trying to say.
Okay.
And there is the area where people are coming, where people are shouting and standing around as you approach the town, you see is in front of a freshly dug looking gravestone where there is dirt piled on either side and an empty box cracked open and just like tipped to the side that is a coffin. But the lid is just off and there's no one in it.
Well,
I'll march over with
Yeah.
my cavalier boots.
And we'll find out what happens next week.
Spooky.
Thank you to everyone for watching this episode. It was a time to get to know our players. It was a bit of a quiet one as we had a lot of discussions. But next week we'll find out why has this town got a body in a coffin missing?
Great.
What's
Yeah.
going on there?
I like the big mechanism thing. It's cool.
Orcus.
Orcus.
I think it's good to get a get to know you thing. It's one thing for us to tell our viewers about our characters, it's another for us to experience each other for the first time.
We got to see Jazza crack an apple.
Yes.
I did it.
Highlight of the
You should
day.
see me with a phone book.
Thank you to 2 groups in particular. One, our patrons. Another, Legend Keeper, who have allowed me to so quickly reference things, have my notes on hand, create new entries when needed, in case it matters, which is so nice for me because I can add these little notes. Like, it seems minor, right? To just be able to be like, oh, what's the inn? This is the inn. Okay, I write the inn and I have an article. But then if you go in the inn and stab the innkeeper 5 times, I may need to make notes. And then it becomes very relevant.
Then it
That
becomes
is the inn you
important.
murdered a guy
We
in.
are
You know?
already doing that, so that makes sense.
True.
I'm worried about Leone.
Yeah, Leone's got a little bit of a murder streak going. Cool.
Thanks for watching.
Yeah,
Thanks
thanks
for
for watching.
hanging.
We're going to go hang out with our patrons.
Yeah.
If you want to hang out with us, join our Patreon and the after party. Bye.
Join the Discord.
Goodbye.